But let's start off by going through all the matches from the weekend. Denmark beat Wales by 4 goals to nothing. Italy needed extra time, but they eventually overcame Austria by 2 goals to 1. Czech Republic upset the Netherlands by 2 goals to nothing. And the big one in Seville last night was Belgium. They beat Portugal by 1 goal to nothing. Anthony, not a free-flowing kind of football we're expecting from Belgium, rather, given all the talents that they had. Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Thorgan Hazard, Yuri Tillemans. We thought they were going to give us some tiki-taka style of football, but it was anything but that. Ultimately, they showed that they had the defensive resilience and organization to withstand a good attacking team like Portugal, and of course grind out a result and move on to the next round of the competition.
Made me eat some humble pie in Belgium, because all through the tournament have been saying that they can't, Roberto Martinez can't defend to save his life. It's always concerned about the attacking side of things and all of that. But they just put all of that to bed yesterday. It was a really, really gritty performance from them. I was impressed, really impressed with 3 at the back, all 3 of them. But I think the standout player was Vermaelen. Actually had a good game, did a good job on Ronaldo. But generally, all 3 of them, to be Alderweireld, Vermaelen, and Jan Vertonghen, were quite good in defense as well. And then when you have X-factor players like KDB, like Eden Hazard, like Lukaku, who was just bullying the Portuguese defense all through that game, you would have a moment of quality, and that's what happened with Thorgan Hazard. A brilliant effort. It was a good run from Lukaku in the first instance, bullying the defense, and the ball fell nicely to Thorgan Hazard, and it was an excellent shot into the back of the net. And Portugal, yes, they huffed and they puffed. They had a few half chances and all of that, but generally, I don't think they offered much going forward in the final third of the pitch as well. Lack of cutting edge in that part of the pitch, and ultimately I think the Belgians deserve to win it.
Anthony mentioned already that Portugal did not have that cutting edge at the top part of the pitch, which is quite surprising and funny, because if you look at the players that they finished the match with, they had João Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Andre Silva, all of them on the pitch towards the end of the match. And of course they started with Bernardo Silva and Diogo Jota, so you cannot say it was a lack of personnel that didn't work for them. What exactly do you think they did differently? What could they have done differently to prize open what was a very stubborn Belgium defense last night?
Well, like I told Anthony before the show started, that I do feel a lot of the Portuguese players were a bit individualistic. Now everyone wanted to take the glory. Moments where they should have picked out a proper pass, they'll hit the ball from a distance, and they didn't create enough for Cristiano Ronaldo. It's either the passes were a bit short or too long. So for Portugal yesterday, it was just a case of the 4 players being a bit confused. And in back-to-back games, Diogo Jota, he hasn't really offered anything. Or
personally, I don't understand why Diogo Jota will start ahead of Bruno Fernandes. I mean, if you're going to start with 3 up front, you can as well put Bruno Fernandes on the left and have Bernardo Silva on the right and Cristiano Ronaldo up front. I didn't get Diogo Jota starting all through the tournament ahead of maybe Bruno Fernandes.
Well, to be fair, he started 2 games in the group stage. He didn't start the first game. Actually, he came off the bench, if I'm not mistaken. Then he started the second and third game. I think he wants his space in behind the defense. He had a poor tournament, let's not lie, Diogo Jota, but I don't think it's a toss-up between Jota and Bruno Fernandes. I think it's more João Moutinho who maybe replaced Bruno Fernandes in the team,
which again is quite funny.
It's quite funny, actually. But then again, Fernandes himself didn't have a good
cover himself in glory as well.
Exactly. The 2 games he played, the opening 2 games he played, he was dropped for the final game. The opening 2 games he played, he didn't really play too well. So that's why generally the Portuguese team, aside from Ronaldo who scored all those goals, I think generally the Portuguese team really
it's funny. I mean, I repeat, it's funny how you'd have so much attacking talent on the pitch at the same time and then struggle to create something meaningful, because all they had in terms of chances were the header from Bruno Diaz, Ruben Diaz from the corner kick, and the shot from Rafael Guerreiro that hit the post. So obviously maybe something is not right with the system and the manner in which they are playing. But let's not make this about Portugal. Let's give Belgium all the credit. Obviously, they now have to sweat over the fitness of Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard, because it showed again yesterday that if they don't have those guys on the pitch, I mean, the moment Kevin De Bruyne left the pitch, they turned into, I mean, you'll have thought Jose Mourinho was the coach of Belgium. They turned into Stoke City. You understand? They abandoned. It was all balls to Lukaku. They abandoned any sort of build-up or attacking football and went to defend, and then started lumping the ball for Lukaku. Anyway, I will talk about that obviously in the coming days. They play Italy on Friday in Munich at the Allianz Arena. What is certain that should be. Very quickly, let's go through the other matches. Czech Republic beat Netherlands by 2 goals to nothing. Anthony, Netherlands can cry all they want about Matthijs de Ligt At the end of the day, it was a fair red card, and they were not just good enough against the Czechs.
By the first 25 minutes, you looked like they were going to take apart Czech Republic in the first 25 minutes. But like the Danes, they slowly grew into the game as well, and then they started creating chances. The pace and movements of the forward players, Patrick Schick in particular, I was quite impressed with Anthony Barak actually in the midfield, left foot side, number 7. Excellent game he had yesterday. He was making things happen, running into the box, trying to lay passes and all of that. It just, the Czech looked like a really, really well drilled side, and the Netherlands couldn't cope. Yes, they had their own chances. The one-on-one chance that Daniel Malen missed as well.
Is that the guy Liverpool wants to buy?
Well, there you go.
I think that's changing your mind. I hope that's changing your mind.
We shall see.
It looks like Steven Bergwijn part 2.
To be fair, just pace and very little, intelligence.
Quality.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. But he had a poor game, and the Netherlands generally didn't look like they were going to win that game. And once Matthijs de Ligt got sent off, the Czech Republic just took over. 2 well-taken goals, and I'm happy for Patrick Schick. I've always rated him, to be fair. I've always rated him. I think he's a good striker, and then 4 goals now in this tournament. Maybe he'll be the top scorer.
Maybe Liverpool should go for Schick instead of.
To be fair, if I was part of decision making, I would not mind actually. That's a decent striker.
All right, so wonderful opportunity for one of the Czech Republic or Denmark to make the semis of the Euros. They play in the quarterfinals, so that means we'll have either Czech Republic or Denmark at the semi-finals of the European Championship. What a performance though from Denmark. They had to withstand some early pressure from Wales, but once they put their foot on the ball and started playing their football, they were far too good for the Danes. Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, Kasper Dolberg with a couple of goals, and Denmark looking the part in this tournament.
Denmark, when you look at the fact that they lost their first 2 games, and everyone thought, without Christian Eriksen, then it's over for them. But they've grown beyond that situation right now, and I think they've actually stepped up their game to actually tell the Danes that, without Eriksen, we'll do enough to go as far as possible in this competition. And the fact that they keep growing in confidence with every passing game for Dolberg, I'm very sure a very good weekend for him, and hopefully can build on that performance over the weekend. At the end of the day, against Czech Republic, I'm actually looking forward to a very open game because it's set up to be a game that would have a number of goals in it, and I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Big selection headache for the manager. I like the Danish manager, by the way. It looks like he knows what he's doing.
I'm a boy.
would you go for Kasper Dolberg or Yusuf Poulsen in the quarterfinals? Of course, that's his decision to make a very good headache to have. On the final note, matches that have been played already, the round of 16 matches. Italy, everyone was raving about them. They were blowing teams away, but Austria almost cut them to size on Saturday night. But ultimately, Anthony, you have to say the strength in depth of the Italians. Federico Chiesa coming off the bench, Pessina also coming off the bench to get them over the line in that one, which is always a good thing to have a very deep squad, and they needed it against the Austrians on Saturday night.
Absolutely. The manager Roberto Mancini reached into his bench and brought out the trump card that gave them the win. But it was a difficult game, but you'd expect nobody's going to cruise through the tournament. You would expect a difficult game for whoever it is that's going to win it at the end of the day. And all the teams in the competition have had their difficulties all through. I guess the game against the Belgians was a difficult game for the Italians. There's another one coming up against the Belgians as well. We'll see how that goes. But again, like you said, the quality that the Italians have, and I've been raving about Federico Chiesa before the tournament started. I'm glad he's not gotten the chance to actually play, but he's had his chance now. I'm sure he'll be given a start. I'll start him ahead of Domenico Berardi in the game against the Belgians, because I think his pace can be something that can trouble the Belgians.
All right, of course, we're done with all the matches played so far. Let's move on to the matches that are to come. Today from 5 p.m, Croatia will take on Spain, but the both teams are not exactly at their best. Who do you think goes into this one as the favorite? It's difficult to call, isn't it?
Very, very difficult. And at the end of the day, you look at the fact that Spain grew into their own in the final group game. You might say it's a lesser opposition,
and
but
they had a very charitable Slovakia. Basically dashed them the first day. How do you pick up the ball and throw it into your net?
So we could say that, but neither has Croatia actually played particularly well in this competition. Like you did say, we don't even know where this game will head. But the thing is, for Spain, that win against Slovakia would give them an extra edge in terms of confidence, and they do have, not the sort of quality we've seen in the past as regards the Spanish national team, but I do feel maybe just above average as regards this team, and they can do enough to actually beat this Croatia side. Croatia own legs, and yes, they will off and puff, but at the end of the day, I do feel Spain just about edges it.
All right, we'll ask Anthony for his predictions very shortly, but we have to move very quickly. France against Switzerland is the other match of the group. France haven't really convinced. They haven't actually won since the opening match of the tournament. Remember, they drew against Hungary and drew against Portugal. And Switzerland are the kind of team that will make life very difficult and maybe drag this into extra time and penalties.
Well, possibly they have the quality to do that, but the thing is, they've not been defensively solid as they'd like. And I think they're a bit open at the back, not as compact as you'd like them to be against a team like France, who have pace in attack. I think that's what will be their undoing. Yes, they can trouble them on the other end of the pitch. They can trouble the French on the other end of the pitch as well. Shaqiri, Gavranovic, Seferovic, all these guys can give the French defense plenty of problems. And I think that extra quality that the French possess will give them the edge in this one. And maybe a slim victory. Not as comfortable as you'd believe, but I think the French come out.
All right, so let's call this one, Anthony, the two matches: Croatia, Spain, France, Switzerland.
I'm going to say something weird now.
Yeah, please be careful. Don't make it too weird. Don't make it that weird.
We're not going to make it that weird. Croatia 2, Spain 1.
All right, I actually think Croatia will win tonight.
And then
France, Switzerland.
France to Switzerland 1.
France to Switzerland 1.
Okay, I'm going Spain 2. No, Spain 3, Croatia 1. France, Switzerland 1-0 France.
All right, so you're going for Spain and France to qualify, and you are going for
Croatia and France.
And of course, the two teams that win tonight, I believe they will go head to head in the next round. So we could see France, Spain in the quarterfinals. Obviously, that will depend on the result and the outcome of today's matches. Time for us to take a break and take another word from our proud sponsor, SunTrust Bank. When we come back, it will be time to unveil the question for today. Of course, I wanted to say 2 lucky people, but no. Two lucky people is for Saturday. As for today, it's just 1 lucky person that will be having his SunTrust Bank account, his or her SunTrust Bank account created with 2,000 So all of that will be coming up after this very short break.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment and like. Thank you.